Hey everybody, Ricky Leg Music here. I hope y'all are doing well. Epiphone, Masterbilt, Texan. I've done a lot of work on this thing. I don't know if you can see that. I got me an LR Bags Anthem. Well, I meant to. That's a clone. It's a Chinese knockoff, but it sounds great now. I could never get the strings balanced. I must have took the strings on and off 20 times. See, this guitar, I wanted a really nice guitar because I'm going to play out in Nashville with these people who have $3,000 guitars. And I figured if I spend $700 on a nice guitar, I'd have something, right? Here, can you see that used? It should say reject, because if you look real close at these tuning pegs, whoever drilled these things, the CNC person, they put it in the slot wrong and it misdrilled the holes on this side. I got stuck with a piece of crap because as soon as they found out that they'd misdrilled this, they basically stopped working on this guitar. They said there were some finish flaws. I don't know if you can see that or not. Those two fingerprints, they said, oh, it's just finish flaws. But what it was as soon as they found out that this thing was not going to pass, and they're going to have to put that U stamp on there, and when they do that, I don't know if you can see that, but they deface that blue sticker, so the serial numbers ain't no more good. So they deface that and they put on different serial numbers, so you can't take it back to the factory. I called the factory, and I spoke to a couple of different people, and they said there was nothing they could do. I should take it back to where I got it from. And of course I should have. But the guy had already lied to me. Lying by omission is just as bad as telling an outright lie. So he lied by omission, falsely misrepresented this guitar to be something that it was not. So I ended up paying a whole bunch of money for a piece of garbage. And this thing would never, ever, the strings would never quite balance out. I got it close sometimes, but it just wasn't good enough for the money I put in there. So I had the Sonotone Sonocore system in there, the Fishman. So I said, no, I'm taking that out, and I'm gonna get me a LR Bags Anthem with the microphone and the undersaddle pickup. It's got a microphone right there, about right there somewhere. Works perfectly. It feeds back a little bit, but I got a feedback suppressor there. Also got a feedback suppressor here, and you can blend the undersaddle mic with the microphone as much as or as little as you want. I mean, and I got it sounding so natural sounding. It sounds just like the guitar when it's not plugged in. I was able to dial it in that well, and all the strings are balanced now. So I'm still getting a fret out. I believe it's on this last fret here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a whole total. I don't know how to do this stuff. I really don't know how to do it. I got a few tools. I got me a block, and I've watched a million videos. Well, I wouldn't say a million, but I watched a whole bunch of videos on how to install this LR Bags system. I watched a whole bunch of them, and I fretted and fretted and worried and fretted I was going to mess something up. I got it all in there and nothing's messed up, and it works perfectly now. And it sounds great. I'm so surprised. I paid like a third of what a LR Bags would cost. And everything was in there just like the LR Bags. It looked just like the LR Bags, except it ain't got the LR Bags name. As I said, I don't have enough money to pay nobody, so I had to learn all these skills myself. And you need a few tools. I showed you some of my tools. Whenever you get a fret rocker, be sure to get a quality fret rocker. I got a kind of screwed up one and had a burr on one side, and I could never get a true reading, so I didn't know what was going on. This is my second one, and this one has also got the measurements for your strings and whatnot. Oh yeah, this is a really good one. You're gonna need these. When I go to polish my frets, I'm gonna polish my frets with steel wool, 00 steel or 000 steel wool, the really fine stuff. It works perfectly. I've been working on my 1971 Silvertone, so I've been working on that, and I use these. These are perfect. I polished up all the frets there because it's a really old guitar. I got me a fret file to make my job easier. I don't know how well this is going to work, but if this don't work good, I got me a little file like this here. So I got me some files. It depends on what I need. Of course, you got to file the fret ends because they're all going to be sharp, so you got to do that job. I got me a little bit of tape, but I've been watching, and I believe I can handle this. I think this is going to be okay. I'm not really concerned anymore. So, I mean, I'm in for a penny, might as well be in for a pound too, right? I'm just working on it myself. Masterbilt Texan. You be careful. You do not want to get any guitar that's got that U stamp on the back unless your daddy is a bona fide luthier, because you're going to have problems that you didn't even dream of. I can have this taken off, and them holes filled in, glued, and re-drilled, and it'll be right then, and I can put this same one right back in there. I can't pay nobody to do that right now. Maybe down the road I can, and I can't afford to get all that stuff that it takes to have that job done. I don't really know any woodworker dudes that would do it on the cheap. That's a major job, getting those re-drilled. It sure is. All right. So just a few words on my piece of crap Masterbilt Texan. This God, man. I wish I could meet some Epiphone executives so I could just tell them just what I think of their process for unloading crap guitars on unsuspecting victims. Okay, y'all be good out there, and I'm working on this. I'll give you an update. Well, hello everybody. Rig Music here. Few tools I used last night. Hey, if anybody knows what this is, can you please tell me what this thing is? I got a LR Baggs Anthem clone, and this came with it. So I got this thing. I don't know if y'all can see it here. It's really good. It's a clone of the LR Baggs Anthem. I installed it myself. Of course, look, you see it ain't perfect, but neither am I, so I'm not worried about that too much. I got it pretty much wired up like it's supposed to be. Let me see, I didn't get it perfect. You see that? It's not perfect, but it works. It's so much better than what I had. I drilled a little teeny, like a narrow ditch, so that wouldn't be a such a sharp turn there. And then I drilled another little hole on this side going in so I could push this element in there a little ways. See that? And this thing with my Fishman Sonotone Sonocore, I couldn't ever get the strings balanced. The bass would be boomy and you couldn't hear the treble. So after working over and over and over again, like 10, 15 times, taking it apart, restringing it again, adjusting this, just messing with it as much as I could, sanding it down, just making sure everything was right, it still wouldn't get right. So I went online and I bought this system there. I was looking for a LR Baggs Anthem, and I thought I was buying one, and this came in there, and I thought it was kind of cheap. And I told them, I said, hey, what the hell did you send me? They said, don't worry about the quality. And I'll tell you what, this thing is perfect. Oh, it blends perfectly. Everything works perfectly. It sounds fantastic to my ears. What I did was I turned this on, but turned the volume down and strummed it a few times after it was tuned to pitch. I strummed it a few times and heard what it sounded like in my head, just plain with no amplification. Then I turned the amplification on and it sounded identical to my ears. Like, it's just a lot louder. So It's really good. I got a little bit more work to do. I'm gonna dress the frets, crown and polish. And look, folks, this is a Masterbilt Texan by Epiphone, a Masterbilt. See right there, it says Masterbilt. I paid way too much for this thing. I paid way too much for it because on the back there's a used stamp, and that should be reject stamp. This is why you see the CNC people, they misdrilled the pilot holes for the tuning pegs. You see how the ones on the one side are like real close and the ones on the other side look normal? Well, this side is messed up. It's just too far away. And that's the good side there. So once they found out that, and there's that, and so initially they said, oh, it's just a finish imperfection. That's crap. They lied. It's a lot more than just them 2 fingerprint marks. That bottom fret, that very bottom fret is fretting out. So I'm going to dress them all. I mean, I don't know which ones are the culprit. So I'm just going to get them all. And I don't have no money to pay nobody, so I have to do all this work myself. I didn't know how to use these tools. I didn't know nothing about straightening the neck and making sure you had to have the neck perfectly straight and all the little tricks and stuff you got to know. I didn't know any of that stuff, but I'm learning it. Well, got good news and bad news. Good news is that the video just got a whole lot shorter because I accidentally deleted like 5 different videos showing you all the things I had done. Especially I wanted to show you how uneven the frets were when I first started sanding. There was so many frets. There would be like 2 frets would be bare, and then the fret in the middle is still red. And it was like that in 2 or 3 places. It was really, really strange. And now I'm polishing them up, and I'll get back with you after I polished them up. And then I'm going to get some of this boiled linseed oil, and I'm going to put it on the fretboard and the bridge here. Alright, I'll see you in just a few minutes. Well, for you it'll be a second. Alright, I set the relief on the neck. I think it's pretty good. It sounds great. To me it does. Nothing wrong with this guitar now. No fretting out now. I don't care how it looks. I don't care about the smudge marks on the finish. Or I don't really care about the wonky tuner offset thing. I don't care about that. All I need is something that would play, so I could play it out in Nashville. So I learned some skills. Man, I learned some stuff. And as soon as this newness wears off, I'm going to do the same thing to my 40th anniversary Telecaster. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Well, thanks for watching. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. No longer have a piece of garbage. I got a good playing guitar with a good sound system, with good electronics. Sounds great, huh? Y'all be good.